drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and we're about to get it in on an important topic that's going on in the Black community right now, something that everybody's been talking about. The BET Hip Hop Awards, according to DJ Envy and a lot of other media sources, has been indefinitely suspended, along with the Soul Train Awards, which is quite a shocker because everybody kind of expected these stage shenanigans to happen every year, almost like Christmas time. And to discuss this really interesting topic, we have the one and only and the great Madam President. How you doing today, Madam Prez?
I'm doing pretty good, Dr. Watkins. How are you?
Doing very well, very well. I was really shocked by this announcement that they were indefinitely suspending the BET Awards. What do you make of that?
Well, if you can suspend something, it really makes me believe how can you suspend something that you say is for the culture or is the culture? So it really made me really take a lens to how we view what is for the culture, what is the culture. I mean, you talking about the Soul Train Awards. My grandmama and them used to watch the Soul Train Awards. So, like, how could you get rid of something that is, has just a lineage of progression as it relates to Black people in not just media, but in music? Rick James was on the Soul Train Awards, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, as well as Shaka Khan. These people was a part of that. So you just dismantling it right now in this current climate is telling me media is taking a big shift, the biggest that we've ever seen very quickly.
Wow. So yeah, I mean that is a big shift. Your grandma watched the Soul Train Awards, really? That's crazy.
Back in the day, they used to do the Soul Train line. You know how we do at the All Black National Convention, how we come in, we do the Soul Train line, and we come down. I mean, that's a staple. That is something that Black folks do. Now, name a time in history you saw the KKK line up and do a Soul Train line. They don't have, they do it. They don't got the ability.
Well, the Soul Train Awards, for everybody who wants to know, they were started in 1987 and they were named after the iconic show by Don Cornelius called Soul Train, which started in 1971 and ran all the way through 2006. And everybody who's listening, put a yes in the chat if you remember being excited when Soul Train came on. I mean, there was no show like it. And I remember I used to get real excited when Soul Train came on, and then you get depressed when American Bandstand came on. Bandstand, bandstand. Are you old enough to remember that?
No, Dad, I can't remember that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when I was a little kid, Dick Clark used to host American Bandstand after Soul Train. And I guess that was like their white response to black black musical culture. I'm gonna say black music culture because black culture is not always defined on the dance floor. It's also defined in the classroom, it's defined in the boardroom, it's defined in the home, right? So let's stop thinking that all of black culture is all about dancing all the time. However, we can dance quite well. And I feel like Soul Train really was soul, and so then they had the Soul Train Award started in 1987. So this is a big deal. What do you think? I mean, I think this is huge. What's this third? Is that almost 40 years, 38 years, and now they're dropping it? That's crazy.
Absolutely. And what's crazy is I can't help but just what I see happening is have Black people are going to have to redefine who their Black celebrity becomes. See, the Black celebrity has always been the celebrity that's been assimilated and close to whiteness or proven or picked up by a big music label. Now you're going to have to do the work to find and create your own community celebrities, because once they remove the stage and your favorite artists don't have that stage to perform on, who are they? How will they reach you? How will they connect to you? So during those moments when they have the Soul Train Awards going on, or just the BET Awards in general, this is how they connect. After they have a great performance, people go online, they start talking about it. So whoever is on the stage gets an opportunity to amplify their brand. So once you remove all of that, who's your Black celebrity? Which one do you watch? Who will you pay to see? And if that becomes a thing where, oh man, they're gonna really start streamlining who gets chosen, who doesn't, because the slot is gonna become smaller. If that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, one thing about this cancellation suspension, if you will. I mean, I know that I saw on DJ Envy's page where he shared a quote from one of the higher ups at BET where he's basically said that they are revamping and re-engineering the show for different platforms and stuff like that. And I have no reason not to believe that that's what's going on because the media landscape is changing. But you can't help but be curious about the timing of the cancellation. Now, how many of y'all? I want y'all. I want to do a black ownership quiz. We're gonna do an all black quiz right now to see how black you are in terms of understanding black wealth and ownership. How many of you know that neither BET nor the Soul Train Awards is owned by black people? How many of y'all know this? These are identified as black shows, and we believe that this is a black thing and this is black culture. They always tell you this is the culture. But how many of you know that these shows and platforms are not owned by black people? Give me a yes in the chat. And the reason I think it's important to start there is because you got to be real careful when you allow other people to own your culture. That means you're colonized. You're straight up colonized. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: give me a yes or no. Do you think the Jewish people would have a problem if I, as a black man, owned the platform that where every year I said, "This is Jewish culture. This is the culture. This is Jewish. This is what it means to be Jewish." Do you think that they would even allow me to do that? Right? And I think that's important. So here's the ownership structure of BET. You got to follow the money. The Soul Train Awards and Hip Hop Awards are owned by BET. BET is owned by Paramount. Paramount is engaged in a very combative, which is very controversial, very detail-oriented sort of merger with Skydance. Skydance was not being allowed to merge or to buy Paramount. They had to get approval from the Trump administration. So the Trump administration, with given that we have President Petty in the White House, right? He goes after all his enemies, including Charlemagne the God, right? He One of the things that many people speculate is that he told Paramount, like, hey, if you want me to sign off on this merger, you got to get rid of Colbert, and I wouldn't be surprised, Madam President, if he also said something about BET, which has been consistently used as a pawn, as a little hole for the Democrats. I mean, really, I mean, I say it like that because why in the hell are you out there on your platform telling people that if you're black, you have to be a Democrat, or you have to be a Republican? That don't even make no sense to me. So, what do you think? Do you think my theory might hold some weight to it?
I do. I do agree. I do believe that your theory holds weight. Malcolm X said that the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. How come the white man know how powerful it is to own media? And we act like we struggle with that. Yes, he wants to say, I want to control what the masses have access to, who they're listening to. Now, America has been pushing diversity, and America has been pushing whatever the DEI is, the diversity, all of that. But as a black,
Diversity, equity, inclusion, integration, all that. Yep.
all of that. But Trump is telling the American people, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and let's just focus on what we want, and that is they want a white power infrastructure, and they want full control. He says get rid of him. He's saying get rid of whoever. I'll get rid of the white man that's a liberal. I'll get rid of the black woman that's pro-black. I'll get rid of whoever. I don't give a damn. In his words, those people have very low IQs. Mind you, he doesn't have a high IQ, but he's saying that he wants to control media. It's important. And my issue with us, Dr. Watkins, is that we could have controlled media. We could have been an entity that basically said, when the president called and the president said, hey, I want to, get rid of the BET and the Soul Train, the black people could have been in a position of power and said, understood. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that. Have a good day. But if we got to get all their money, constantly be in alignment with the supremacy, constantly be in alignment with something so that we can get access to funds then that's going to deter what we're able to do. And that's the problem. You cannot dismantle master's house with his tools. You got to separate yourself. And I feel like we're constantly in that cycle, that hamster wheel. But Dr. Watkins, you told me this when I was a college, probably a sophomore in college. You told me you want to be a part of BET. You know, what happens with them is I want you all to go back to every person that's been on BET. Go back to Free. Go back to AJ. Go back to Roxy. Go back to Terrence. Where are they now? All that to say that wherever they are, I hope that they're well, but these people don't have platforms for you to leave to your children. They don't do that. You have to do that.
Well, you know, we know the difference between we should know. I mean, everybody in this room, if you've been hanging out here, you know that my goal is to make sure that you understand how money works, so you'll have some. And a lot of the people watching, say, shout yourselves out in the chat. A lot of people watching this platform, it makes me happy. They have more money in their pocket now because they're here, and that is critically important because we know that wealth is power. And the people in this room, intelligent black people, understand there's a difference between being on the stage versus being versus owning the stage. There's a difference between being the loud puppet versus the actual puppet master. The puppet master appears quiet, but really the puppet master is the loudest person in the room. But if you don't understand how the hustle goes, you think the puppet is really talking. You think the puppet has a voice. You think the puppet has power. The puppet has no power without the puppet master. So I dare say this. Uh, with a lot of our black platforms and a lot of our black celebrities, they become the puppets. The people that are the same people that are over in Palestine shooting little children as they try to get food right now are the very same ones who control companies like Paramount and others who literally swoop in, buy your culture, and put out a little bit of money and literally have you thanking them for telling you who you're supposed to be. And it becomes very, very dangerous. So I wasn't surprised that the BET Awards or the Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards and the BET as a company was affected by this merger because it was like Paramount and Skydance and the Trump administration are elephants that are all fighting. They have economic power. They have real power. So the elephants are fighting and you're stepping on the grass. You're stepping on the crickets on the ground. BET's the cricket. Trump, Paramount, Skydance are the elephants and they just got crushed. That's what I'm seeing. So what are you? So in terms of now, I know that you've done a lot in the entertainment space. You're the only person I know who's worked at Tyler Perry Studios, Oprah Winfrey Studio, Ava DuVernay Studio, 50 Cent Studio. So you have extensive experience in the entertainment space. What do you think happens now? I mean, this is an important stage. Most black celebrities can't be celebrities without these platforms. What do you think they're going to do now?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe what's currently happening is Hollywood is making the biggest shift that it has ever had to make, and it's because of the streaming services. So you have all these different companies that are merging. All these different companies that had thousands of employees per company has downsized and said some of us have to come together. They're buying up everything. The industry in 2023 took one of the greatest hits. People would not just from the writer's strike, but there were strikes for all types of different unions. So when those strikes happened, we were out of work for probably over a year. And behind that, when it came back, there were tons of shows that was canceled, completely canceled. So I believe this is a completely restructure of everything. Everything is being restructured. How we see it, I want all my folks to understand something right now. If you have the stamina to build your own media platform, now would be the time. It is now would be the time. Let me tell you why. Your A-list celebrity don't matter anymore. Because guess what? Your A-list celebrity is maybe Paramount wanted them, but if another company wanted them, they can only have one because they're merging. So the number of TV shows that will be greenlit is going to minimize. Also, you have AI. the growth spurt of AI. That means that the way we do TV will shift because of AI. You got to remember, this stuff isn't regulated. They haven't regulated AI. They will use it for greed and speed. Greed and speed. That means that why would I pay a DP all this money when I can just literally probably pay someone who's in special effects to deliver the prompts that I need? I can save myself $400,000. Who wouldn't save themselves $400,000? Everything is shifting, but I do know that the underdog, the person who could genuinely, those people who created Zeus, those people who created Tubi, those are white folks, but they were ahead of the curve saying that people want short form content. People want a specific niche that they have an interest in. People are paying for subscriptions. I'd rather get 1 million people to pay me $5.99 and deliver certain content to those people, those 1 million people, than try to break my arm to get on a BET stage. Nobody, the stage has been canceled. So you're going to have to build your own stage. I don't know who else could see this very vividly, but now is the time for all independent talent. This is probably a great thing for you.
Well, and by the way, I'm talking to Madam President. And speaking of a stage, we have a stage that we've owned and built for a long time, and we've deliberately turned away all Democrat money, all Republican money, all corporate money, so that we can own that stage, right? And it's called the All Black National Convention. Now, I want to let everybody know the All Black National Convention is completely sold out for this year, so there are no more tickets. We are going to be in Atlanta right at the same time as InvestFest. And if you want to keep up with the new tickets when they go on sale in September, just text the word ABNC, ABNC to the phone number 87948. I'll send you a notification. But in terms of building a stage, Madam President, and really financing that and really doing the work required to have something that we actually control, I don't see a lot of that really happening in the community on a large scale. I see a lot of us wanting to kind of belong to something that is actually owned and controlled by somebody else. And the danger of Paramount controlling a platform as important as BET is that we have to remember that the hero with the power to feed you can easily become the villain with the power to starve you. And I'm willing to bet you that the same villain that is starving BET right now, taking away these two very popular award shows, is also similar to the villain that caused the Essence Fest to go through a little bit of economic hell. I dissected, I broke down like what was going on with Essence Fest, and I saw where the state of Louisiana took away a bunch of their money. That's government money. They had to take horrible corporate sponsors like Target. Target's basically trying to buy back black people because they believe black people are always for sale, which a lot of us are. And you didn't see the same Essence Fest that you typically see. So a lot of times it seems we forget, Madam President. I want to ask you, we forget about the difference between having real power and having the appearance of power. It's like a woman dating a man because she thinks he has lots of money because he's got a nice car and a big house and nice clothes, but she don't understand this same man, he owes the car dealership $120,000. He owned his credit cards another $110,000. He owes $400,000 on that house. So everything that you're seeing is not wealth, it is actually debt that appears to be wealth. So in terms of us being sort of excited about these bright, shiny objects, what do you think we can learn from this in terms of knowing the difference between who our friends and our enemies are? Because it seems like Trump is really getting revenge on pretty much not all black people. He's getting revenge on black people who align with the liberals. That's why I don't align with the liberals or the conservatives. I don't want to get in the middle of their gang war. Do you think it's been worth it for the black community to just be, vote blue no matter who? We'll say anything for the Democrats. We'll support anybody you put in front of us. We'll use our sacred platforms to promote you. We'll go out. I mean, to me, I think that puts you in danger because you're putting yourself in the crossfire of a long-held battle between the Democrats and Republicans. I think we should gain the power to be neutral. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Being neutral can get you a lot more than, deciding to be far right and far left. And then whoever loses, you kind of always at their mercy. So I just personally feel like we should always have had our own agenda. Our agenda is not the same as everyone else's agenda, and we should have known that. But because we didn't, I believe Dr. King said it he said, I believe I integrated my people into a burning house. This was the danger of being a part of something that you're never really a part of. This was the danger of giving yourself, your talents, your everything to a system that did not have your best interest at heart from the very beginning. This was also the danger. This also, all of this connecting us, placing us in positions to be chosen. One gets chosen, 100 gets frozen. One gets chosen, 100 gets frozen. That's the constant thing that's happening. Well, I'll take this one. This one is the most talented. This one is the fastest. This one is the strongest. I'll take this one. But then that one, brothers and sisters, someone like, well, what about me? Can I get it? Can I get put on? Can I get an opportunity? And that's the difference when you're building your own stage, versus constantly being prepared to help them build theirs. Yes, I think we made a big mistake. And I also think that Trump is showing a lot of Democrats that we were lied to. Every time somebody said that, if a black president can't do nothing for just black people, this man is going hard for his constituents, going hard for the people that are with him, white folks that are with him. He said he is loud and clear when he says, if you are standing with me, I am standing with you. I have never seen a president with my own 4 eyes take people that were committing a crime and pardon them all. He didn't say, let me see who did the most damage. He said they all are pardoned. They all are free.
He called them hostages.
Which one are feminists? Because the feminists, I'm not going to let them go. Which one haven't paid their taxes? Because if those people ain't paid their taxes, I'm not going to let them go. I'm letting them all go. This is why I'm telling black folks, you don't even have the mind to defeat white supremacy. Your president don't even have the mind to dismantle something that's been happening for 500 plus years. They don't even have the psychology. Obama don't have the heart to say, well, I want to do this specifically for these people here. Kamala, she don't have the heart to say, I want to go ahead and give black people, those who have people that was a part of Jim Crow, I want to do something specifically for them. Nobody has that heart. But Trump.
So you're saying that if Kamala or Obama, or let's say Obama, maybe that's if Kamala or Obama had the same guts to fight for their people the same way Trump has to fight for his, that maybe they would be one of them would be in office right now, not Obama, but Kamala, right? Because it sounds to me like what you're saying is, and y'all, a lot of y'all remember this, and remember Trump is probably in the background of what's happening with BET, because BET is owned by Paramount. Paramount was negotiating with Trump to get their merger through, and they pretty much, it sounds like they did whatever Trump asked them to do. I bet you Trump is involved. So you're saying, though, Madam President, that and if y'all remember when Obama was in office, the constant language was, well, he can only do so much, or he can't do nothing for black people because it's going to be bad. But it's interesting because, to your point, Trump is contrasting all of that. Trump is like, I'm going to do what I need to do for the people that got me in office. They want illegal immigrants gone. We're gonna have ICE on the streets. They want they don't like the liberals and Colbert and all these TV shows. Oh, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You don't like what's happening at the universities. Oh, we taking them all down. And Obama didn't have that same level of conviction. It was very hard to get him to do even the most basic things for black people. And I think that it was because he knew that black people would just love him no matter what he did. That's what I really think was going on. What do you think?
I believe that not only did he know, he understood the neutrality, being for all people. Being for all people don't matter. All people don't need everything. And Trump is showing you that. I'm for my people. I'm not for everybody. He ain't looking, Trump don't give a damn about what Madam President got going on. But that white girl that's on the ass for American Eagle, she is a Republican. Hey, I like her. I'm with her. That they gave. I can't remember the actual position that Trump had appointed. They said a young man. He worked for the grocery store. He made him some kind of Department of Defense or something. He was a grocery store attendant, and he appointed him for some super, super high Q position. So what I really like, this is the difference between white men in power and black men in power. White men in power know that they don't have anyone to answer to. They don't have anybody to answer to. I'll do exactly what I want to do. I don't have to answer to nobody. I can get people to get things done. Like, I'm not afraid of the media. He went, and even black folks, I'm not afraid of black people. Even if he don't agree, I'm not afraid of them. So I think neutrality has killed the Democratic Party. See, you thought you was going to stand for everybody and everything, and now you don't have anyone to stand alongside you. You don't even have anyone that is going to be your future. Your party is so, just out of it, trying to do everything for everybody, got crumbs and little bits of nothing. People didn't have no faith in your entire movement. So the Democratic Party, they failed. But see, I saw a lot of people try to blame Dr. Boyce Watkins, try to blame everybody who promoted free thinking. People tried to blame black people that promoted free thinking when it came to the political sector last November, but they never blamed the Democratic Party. They never blamed the people that was responsible for their political advancement for the last umpteenth years, but they blamed everybody who encouraged free thinking. They blamed people who said, I don't want no parts of either party. I don't want no parts of it. I don't stand with Trump. I don't stand with her. I don't stand with nobody. I stand with me and my children, me and my grandparents, me and my household. That's who I stand with. But nobody can get behind that kind of thinking. Now you got award shows that's being canceled. You got laws that's being reversed. They was like, he's reversing stuff from the 60s. Well, why the hell was it reversible? Why was it reversible in the first place? You have to ask that question. Why wasn't this stuff set in stone? Why they keep playing games with you and your children? No, I don't want to hear that. I'm not jumping on anybody's bandwagon.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're right. It was really interesting in the election. They were kind of, you could call it victim blaming. I don't consider myself a victim, but I did say, hey, I'm not, you have to earn my vote. If you want my vote, you're gonna have to earn it. And I remember getting that call from DL Hughley where he threatened to fight me. He literally was like, I'm gonna kick your ass when I see you and all this other bullshit. And he don't know I go to the gym and I know karate, so you better come ready. But still though, I was stunned. I was like, wow, you really ready to go fight for these white folks, but you can't fight for your own people. You ready to go fight for people that don't give a damn about you, but you ready to fight your brother who would really get on the front lines with you and defend you and your family. And that to me speaks to the black psychological disadvantage. We are weak. We are colonized. We see ourselves as underlings to a greater power structure. And the problem when you do that, the problem is when you allow the Democrats to come in and say, "Hey, we're gonna come on your show and we're gonna get everybody to do what we tell them to do. We're gonna be at the such and such awards, and we're gonna make sure you give us an award so that we'll be accepted by your community." Well, what happens is they're pulling you into a gang war, and I believe that the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. I believe they were canceled as part of Paramount's negotiation with Skydance and the Trump administration because they got pulled in the middle of the culture war that is destroying America. A strong black institution is an institution that can say very plainly, if you're black and you're a Democrat, that is okay. If you're black and you're a Republican, that is okay too. If you're black and you're independent, that is okay as well. We love you no matter what. But if you pay attention closely, if you go to the Essence Awards, if you go Essence Fest, if you go to a lot of the BET Award shows, if you go to the NAACP Awards, it's Democrat, 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 and you're screwing black people when you do that because you're signing 40 million people up for slavery for a bunch of white folks who won't even defend you when Trump comes and drops a bomb on your ass. Look at the economic condition of the black community since Trump got in office. Black women were the number one group to lose jobs under the Trump administration. When they cut them government jobs, it hit black women the hardest. When they cut DEI programs, it hit black women the hardest. Now they up here cutting award shows and cutting only God knows what. Where are your allies when you need them? They should be lining up, writing checks, doing things on your behalf, but they're not. They're not. They're complaining with you, but they ain't solving no problems. They're not putting no food in your children's mouths. Your community does that for you. The people that stand 10 toes down on the black community side, no matter what, are the people that I depend on and support the most. I don't, these fair weather Negroes who are like, well, I like black, I want to be black as long as you a Democrat, as long as you's a Democrat like me. That's nonsense. That's again, that's a type of colonization, and I don't think we should accept that. So I'm gonna let you get the last word, Madam President. I want to mention about it really quickly to everybody. Number one, Madam President will be at the All Black National Convention, so you can meet her in person. Number two, it's sold out. So as much as I'd like to invite everyone to come to Atlanta, the tickets sold out a couple days ago, so we're done for this year. But we will send you a notification when the tickets for next year are available. You may want to buy them quick because they usually sell out before the next convention. And then number three, some of you are asking, what's my profit alert for today? Which stock do I like the most? Today, I bought shares of Apple. I bought shares of Apple because I believe Apple is going to make their AI move by acquiring Perplexity. And I believe that when they acquire Perplexity, they will move back to the front of the AI race and their stock price will move. I could be wrong, though. So this is not investing advice. This is just me telling you what I'm doing with my money. A lot of y'all made money with Oklo. Your money tripled in the last 6 months. So maybe Apple will be the same thing. Who knows? So, Madam President, what's your last word in terms of what you predict kind of going forward? I mean, do you think that the wrath of Trump against not and remember he's not on a warpath against all black people, he's on a warpath against liberal black people. What do you think is going to happen next? Like where do you think things will go from here?
Well, I personally believe that America is really greedy. So one of the things that she has an interest in greed and speed. She wants it done fast and quick, and she wants it all. So she's going to continue to eat, and she's going to do that, and she does not care, who she offends, who she harms in the process. So if you are an intelligent black person, if you tuned in 9 times out of 10, you are an intelligent black person. I think that you should, number one, just be fully prepared that, this system could get worse, and the system getting worse, we have to have our independence. We have to, I wrote a ebook. I literally set up for weeks thinking about Trump and his administration. And I said, people need to understand how to survive a Trump America. So if you go to One Madam President on Instagram, and if you go to the link inside of my bio, I literally have a blueprint on how to survive a Trump America. And one of the key components to surviving a Trump America is understanding that being 3 steps ahead. In the words of James Baldwin, the white man don't have nothing new up his sleeve. He got that same type. He got that same tired thing going on for the last 100 years. He can't fool you. He can't surprise you. He can't do nothing that you don't know nothing about. That's what I think you all have to understand. And that just means everything from how we do business, how we spend our money, how we come together. I am so tired of black families. You work for all the different companies that you work for in accounting. You haven't taught your son how to do Excel, how to do spreadsheets, how to do what's necessary to build for your household. He could be doing the budget. We have to come together. Everybody is going outside of the house trying to build individually, and that's not going to work in a Trump America. If you want to survive a Trump America, you got to get around like-minded people. It is time for the great separation. Every black person that you know, every time you meet up, they want to smoke weed. Every time you meet up, they want to have threesomes. Get away from them. They are out of that. Let me tell you what's going to happen for them. The stage that they were once on has been suspended, and they'll never have another one. So guess what? Let them do whatever they want to do, but it's time for the great separation. I'm Madam President. If you're not following me, then you're missing out. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm One Madam President, and I'm 100% politically incorrect.
All right, so you can follow Madam President at one Madam President, the number one Madam President with a Z. Look that up. And also, I'm glad everybody came in. And don't forget, we have class every morning for those who want to learn about economics. My doctorate's in finance, so I can teach you a thing or two about the greatest wealth builder in America, which is the stock market. So I'd love to support you in your journey to build wealth and build family and build strength. Strength survives all administrations. Wealth will help you thrive under Democrats. You will thrive under Republicans. You do not have to have your emotions slapped around by who's in office. I encourage you to understand what self-sustainability looks like. And I think it's going to take time, but we're getting there. So God bless you guys. Have a great day. And I wish you all the very, very best. And thank you, Madam President. It was real. And I will hit you up. And I got a meeting in 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, everybody. So